One of the important parts of your medical school journey is the med school interview. Young aspiring doctors need to understand that med school interview is a serious business. The opportunity is granted to only promising candidates. Therefore, your pre-med period is your best time to prove yourself worthy of receiving a med school interview. Before we continue, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button below to get a notification on our next video. Just like other parts of your medical school application process, the medical school interview is also very essential. Consequently, candidates need to prepare for it and acquire the right GPA to enable them to proceed further to medical school. There are 3 important reasons why medical schools interview their candidates. First, they want to learn about their social life to ensure that they are not difficult to cope with. Every medical school wants someone who can relate with other colleagues, nurses, and patients. As a doctor, you get to practice every day, and so, you need to interact very well with people. Secondly, every medical school wants to ensure that candidates do not have any form of interpersonal difficulties like arrogance or major social clumsiness. A poor interpersonal relationship is a turn-off to many people, and medical schools need to know about this attribute in time before enrolling their candidates. Thirdly, besides all that is written in your CV, medical schools want to ensure that candidates' personality is the same as what their CV and application says about them. Writing provides you several opportunities to edit and format your CV and application in a way that will be appealing to anyone. However, the case is different with a live interview. If you receive an invitation to a med school interview, it means that you fulfilled the academic and extracurricular requirements of the medical school. It means academic and extracurricular requirements will no longer be a ground to disqualify you. Once you get to this stage, you should approach the med school interview with much confidence. When answering medical school interview questions, ensure to pay attention to the way you respond to questions, interact with the school members of staff, interviewers, and any other person involved in the interview process. The first impression is very essential when attending med school interview. Therefore, grabbing the attention of your interviewers and members of staff from your point of entry is vital. If they find you interesting from the beginning, it becomes easier for them to overlook minor mistakes. However, the reverse is the case when your first impression is a turn-off from the beginning. The best approach to a medical school interview is to see it as an opportunity to have a quality engagement with your interviewer, the faculty, the students, and other people involved in the process. It is not an opportunity to show your academic prowess. They already know you are good going by your CV and application. Understand that they want to know you up close and personally, which is the essence of the entire interview process. Med school interview invitations are sent out in batches until the school exhausts its available spaces. Some candidates receive their medical school interview invitation as early as July, while others receive their first interview notification in January. Nonetheless, you are more likely to receive a med school interview invitation between September and January. However, it is essential to know that the invitation process is different for every school. Some medical schools may decide to send invitations out immediately to students that meet their requirements. On the other hand, other schools may decide to stick to sending out their invitations in batches beginning with the first applicants. Some schools wait till a specific date to start sending out their interview invitations to candidates. While a lot has changed about the medical school admission process, the system still maintains the score as the basis for all application processes. With regards to GPA for medical schools, there is no one-size-fits-all. The GPA is different for different schools. While some medical schools require you to earn a GPA of at least 3.4 to be eligible for an interview, others will require you to score as high as 3.93 to be eligible for an interview invitation. Hence, to qualify for a med school interview, you need to score an average GPA between 3.4 and 3.93 depending on your school of choice. Besides your GPA, you also require an MCAT score of about 500 to be eligible for a medical school interview invitation. There are different types of medical school interview questions depending on your choice of medical school. Some of the most common interview types include the traditional interview method adopted by schools like the University of Glasgow and Cambridge University. Other forms of medical school interviews include the panel and structured panel interview methods, semi-structured, MMI, and currently the AAMC Vita. Once you receive your interview invitation, the first thing you need to do is to confirm your interview date. Doing this shows you have a strong interest in the program and portrays a positive impression about you even before you arrive at the campus for your interview. It is also essential to select the earliest possible date for your interview to take maximum advantage of the rolling process. After confirming your interview invitation and date, it is also essential to express your gratitude reasonably and also show your excitement to learn more about the university's program. Note that your interview starts from every interaction you have with the school, including emails, conversations, and phone calls before, during, and after your interview. It is, therefore, essential to be the best of who you are at all times. Ensure to treat everyone with great respect before, during, and after your interview. It is important to note that Med School Admission Committee is always open to receive both positive and negative feedbacks about applicants. Ensure to book your flights early for international students. It is best to arrive a day before your interview schedule. Study your AMCAs and secondary application to ensure that you are conversant with what you submitted. Doing this will help to ensure that your answers during your interview are in line with your initial submission. The next step is to check the school's official website and go through their student doctor network and check for possible interview questions. Also, study general possible questions and try answering these questions. When going through the official website of any medical school, it is essential to keep note of what the university stands for and its vision. If the university provided you with the name of your interviewer, you must look them up beforehand. Some of the common questions you will come across include, but are not limited to these: tell me about yourself. Why do you want to become a doctor? Why do you think our school is your best choice? What do you see as the biggest challenge of the healthcare sector in the States? What is your greatest strength? What is your greatest weakness? After your interview, you can politely ask your interviewer how long it will take for the university to get back to you with feedback about your admission status. Note that the time may differ for different schools. While some have a fixed date to send out notifications, others may contact candidates within 1 to 2 weeks after the interview. You can also send a thank you message to the school and your interviewers individually within 48 hours, except in cases where the school discourages such acts. Med school interviews are not as complex as many candidates often perceive them to be. However, it is essential to keep in mind that med school interview is quite important. It is your one-on-one opportunity to tell your interviewers more about yourself. To show the school that beyond academic qualification, you have the right personality trait to become a medical doctor. What do you think about these med school interview tips? We hope they were helpful. Thanks for watching this video. Please share your opinions in the comments section below, and remember to click the subscribe button to be the first person to watch new videos on this channel.